I am VK, and in this video I am going to be talking about a bunch of 2022 Goth, wave, alternative, industrial, etc. releases, album releases, singles, that kind of stuff. I am in a race against time currently because the sun is coming, and I do not want to be here when it does. I am going to try and make this as quick as I possibly can. There are about 16 to 17 releases that I'm going to mention. None of them are particularly in depth, but all links will be left down below. This is part 2. The first part is the metal one. So I did metal, rock and punk releases from 2022 that I enjoyed. Anyway, shall we begin? First up is a band that I have mentioned before, Quadrille. Or Quadrille, I don't know exactly how to say. But they are a Ukrainian dark punk, post-punk, death rock kind of band, and they have released the album Arrogance. Absolutely recommend, 1,000,000% give it a look. Next up, Datura. Datura are an American band, I believe. They came out with Arcano Chemical. This is also a release that I mentioned in another video, so I won't go too in depth on it. Next up is Stereopolina. So these guys are somewhere between Eurodance, Russian Italo disco, or Red Disco is a tag that I've seen associated with them, and kind of mixed with new wave with like an intermittent edge on certain tracks that I really enjoy. At times it even reminds me of like certain anime intros, which is weird. Like if they were done by 70s or 80s inspired Euros. They do have an OG 4-track EP that is like the base, like the meat and potatoes of this, but also there's a version of Bandcamp that has 8 bonus collaborative tracks that I suggest you check out. Did I even tell you what that was called? Oops, one sec. Gosti bez budushego, whatever that means. Next up is Sea Lungs. Sea Lungs are a kind of post-punk death rock band out of New South Wales. I recently did an interview with a band called Sounds Like Winter, and one of the, or two, I think 2 of the members are in Sea Lungs. Oh no, 3. I don't know, very incestuous stuff. Yeah, Sea Lungs came out with Truffle Pig, which is a single by them. I'm hoping that in 2023 they release more, because Truffle Pig is dope. I got to actually see them on Halloween with Sounds Like Winter and a few other bands. That was really, really fun. Sea Lungs are kind of like a sea-inspired dark punk kind of band, which, if you know me, you know I love that shit. Shells. Also, the general coloring of like most of my videos is actually sea-inspired. Next up, Tears for Fears, The Tipping Point. I did mention this band, this release in another video as well. Cannot stress enough how much I love this album. Was even going to do a full album review of it, but I felt like I may get too emotional because some of the subject matter of the album hits kind of close to home. But like, especially if you just want to like listen to the title track, The Tipping Point, absolutely do. If you don't want to commit to the full album, really interesting subject matter. And Tears for Fears, like who the fuck thought that Tears for Fears were going to come out with a new album in fucking 2022? Not me. Anyway, next is Locust Revival, Your Delusions Are Not Mine, rather. So this is a Brisbane post-punk band that I found just over a year ago. They came out with this and also a Halloween track called Fangs Out. Your Delusions Are Not Mine is a 5-track EP by them. I've actually played Haha Hate Club at Goth clubs before, just because that's hilarious to play a song called that at Goth clubs. Also, it's a great track. Absolutely suggest checking these guys out. Yes, great stuff, Brisbane. Actually, Brisbane's absolutely doing some great stuff. Like Melbourne's always kind of like done some kind of cool shit, but Brisbane's popping off at the moment. Not gonna lie. Damn. This was a big fucking hit across pretty much all industrial scenes. Hokiko or Hochicho or however you say it. They came out with Hyperviolent. Hyperviolent is fucking phenomenal and such a journey. Like there are so many different vibe tracks and they're all done so well. There's a Ministry cover on there. They cover New World Order. I've played that at clubs a fair few times. It's just an incredible album. They go a lot of different places with it. They have like a mariachi track in there. Just absolutely give it a shot if you want to go on like this absolute journey of like proficient musicianship that kind of surprises you. Next up, Melt Motif. They came up with a White Horse Will Take You Home. This was a release that I found really cinematic, really well done. Just wasn't expecting it. Just one of those bands that you kind of like, you scroll past a Bandcamp and you're like, oh, that could be okay. You listen to it and you're like, well then. That was a lot better than I fucking thought it was gonna be. Next up, Sturm Und Drang. So I remember when I first heard this and I listened to it on stream and there were people being like, oh, this is gonna put me to sleep. I'm like, kind of thinking, you guys suck. Because it's like, yeah, it's like neoclassical, it's like ambient, atmospheric, neoclassical, gothic kind of stuff, but I thought that it was really good, and I still think it's really good, and I chuck it on every now and then, and I'm just like, oh damn, this is still dope. So to those who were in the stream that day, suck my fucking dick. Next up is Diamanda Galas's Broken Gargoyles. Can we expect anything unsatisfactory from Diamanda or Diamanda or however you say it? Probably not. That is also the case here. More scary, cool shit. Yeah. Next up is Cataphiles. So they came out with a self-titled album, obviously called Cataphiles. They're classic goth tunage from Germany. I found them actually just recently from the Sisters of Mondays. So yeah, they spun Cataphiles and I was like, I don't know, bet. Great classic gothic tunage. Next up, They Die, Emptiness Prevails. Yeah, another fucking great album. Kind of in the darkwave, alternative kind of vibe. Yeah, they're a trio out of Italy. Check out They Die if you want. Next up is one that I didn't know about until a couple weeks ago. Australian act called Death Comes Crawling. Forever Morbid. It's a solo project featuring like darkwave kind of gothic tracks, created by someone called Disparter. Funnily enough, of black metal / funeral doom / ambient metal act fame, the act being called Midnight Odyssey. So yeah, out of Queensland, I think. Midnight Odyssey does a lot of stuff that I'm also really into. Yep, give it a gander when you feel. Next up is Tout de Bord. I don't know how to say it. Tout de Bord. And the album I have even a harder time with. Album is Carne Vu Rien Dire, which means it means nothing. I could have made a joke. It means nothing. Actually, the album, it means nothing. 80s inspired coldwave, really, really good. The French just fucking know how to do coldwave. I feel that way about like the French and the Russians. They just know misery and you know that minimalistic misery that comes with like coldwave and like minimal wave a lot of the time. Next up, just a bunch of singles of the vein of gothic alternative wave and the like. So Plum Green, who's actually out of Melbourne, has a great cover on Sisters of Mercy's Valentine in a like an ambient / dark folk kind of vibe, which I fucked with. Closed Mouth can do no wrong. Closed Mouth just keeps pumping out new shit all the time and it's always fantastic. So they released an EP which is like a gothic wave kind of thing, 2 singles called So Alive in This Way, as well as a new single just a few days ago called No, which is fantastic as well. Next up, Anti-Asia. I think I've talked about Anti-Asia here before, and they have released a single called Labyrinth. Anti-Asia are actually they're twins out of the UK, so they create dark wave-ish stuff. They're called Alex and Jack Jones. Last but not least, French Police recently released that sounded really fucked. Last but not least, French Police recently released. Try to say that 5 times fast. I won't. They released Vaquera, which is a single that's just come out a few days ago by Bandcamp, as well as I'm sure other platforms, which is quite good. I think if you guys catch my streams a lot, you know that I play French Police a fair amount, especially this song Club de Vampiros. Because I think it's just like the perfect kind of like spooky, vibey club song. Hi there, Future VK here. I kind of fucked it with my list. I'd copy and pasted it to myself to read out, and somehow one band did not copy and paste over. The Palest Grey, our album was Always Haunted. Palest Grey are from Orlando, Florida. They came out with a dark post-punk slash death rock kind of old school but not antiquated album that completely like transports you into that mindset, which I really love. The only weakness I would say on the album is perhaps the demo Terror-Go-Round. Don't know why I can't say Terror-Go-Round. I have tried to record this before and I fucked up Terror-Go-Round that time too. Ignore my hair. What the fuck is that? Yeah, really solid album. Do suggest Back to Me. Yeah, so that's all the releases that I wanted to talk about. I have successfully beat the sun for the most part. It is kind of coming up, but not so much that you can see my balcony. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy these releases. There were obviously so many other releases that I could have mentioned, but I don't want to fucking have 50 plus releases in every video that I mention. It's just overloading. If there are any releases that you liked, of course, please put them in the comments. I am always up to finding new stuff, as you can tell. That's like my whole fucking thing. Also, Happy New Year, I guess. Thank you very much for watching. I think I already said that. I'll put the metal video here. If you're into metal, there's also a metal releases video that I'll put here. Almost definitely going to be up before this one is. Yeah, thank you very much. That's all I have to say.